This can't be an offense. It is. Hello everybody, I was shocked that was an offense from the Dwarves, but I guess he was really worried about a blitz. Kaution must be quite confident he's going to win. I guess there's the tree. Oh, no, I guess it does look like an offense. Okay, so we've got Cozen and his Wood Elves and Kaution and his Dwarves. So hopefully somebody will be joining us in the booth. I have just woken up and started the stream on kind of no notice. Yeah, it's a good racial matchup for Kaution. Like, you know, he's got rowdy dwarves, loads of guard, not that much mighty blow, right? Only 4 mighty blow. He's down a lot of TV. He's got Zara and a wizard, which is very nice. And Cozen's Wood Elves aren't that exciting. 12 Wood Elves, mighty blow, tackle dancer, edge 5, wrestle strip dancer, just a bunch of blodge and block guard, so it's not an exciting Wood Elf team. But you know, Wood Elves don't have to be exciting, is the thing. So always going for the 3 dice blitz rather than a mighty blow blitz. Interesting decision, Cotton. Let's see how that plays out. Well, the 3rd dice was the POW, maybe. So you know he can feel good about that. Dwarves can induce Zara, yeah, they always could. Oh, clicks and keyboard clacks are the worst, the absolute worst. It's funny how much that matters, and like, you know, just somebody, no matter who they are, like the audio quality is always quite important, isn't it? Like, you know, sometimes it's pretty annoying when people have got poor quality equipment. Hey, banter. Hello, Jakala or Jakala, I never know which one it is. Thank you for the raid, glorious. Welcome, Jakala or Jakala viewers, whichever you prefer. Don't want to use the wrong pronouns. Banter. There you go. Yes, Blood Bowl 3, like maybe, well, one would hope Blood Bowl 3 would, like, you know, see a spike in increase, but I guess not that much of an increase. But I guess there will be a bit of an increase for Blood Bowl 3, one would hope. Yeah, he leaves him on because he doesn't want to free the tree to get back into like this kind of area somewhere. Probably wouldn't. He'd probably just go 2. Might have risked the dodge off there. It's good enough. It's good enough of a cage. Oh, I guess not. If this gets powered, then it's 2s through and around. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, maybe he had to dodge here. No, because they're both the 2s. Maybe dodging here saves things a bit, because then he'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, GFI, GFI. Whereas now it'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. GFI, GFI. I mean, you could get 2D on the ball. I don't think you'd bother. Yeah, I don't. I think he probably didn't mean to leave it this open. Like, I think he'd have preferred, you know, this guy to be 2 over. It's just that dwarves are movement 4, aren't they? So, it's what it is. Oh wow, he's just going for the 1er. Well, Kaution will be happy with this, as long as it doesn't work. Oh, it did! Oh well. Now he won't be very happy anymore. Because now it's almost GG. Oh, God. Elves. He might be, mightn't he? I mean, I wouldn't be very happy. Like, that wasn't great, was it? That wasn't a great odds thing. Like, you know, considering his team, you would hope he would wait for a better chance than that. Or that if he went for that, he would fail, wouldn't you? You know, that's the thing. That's the thing. Is I mean, if you can get this power, you can get everybody in behind and screen, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and like kind of screen. If he's got, God, look at this guy. Could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And he could just fully screen it. This guy can run probably just around. If he's willing to do this, make this hit and make a few dodges, and obviously he might just roll some 2s here. Oh! Yep, I was thinking maybe he's moved this guy first. I did check that. He just can't get very far though. Has he got sure feet? Yeah, so he could have gone 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So he could have tried these three GFIs, right? That might have been the best first play. He could have done all these 3 GFIs with sure feet, but obviously he would have failed. He would have instantly failed on a double 1. But I think that was the play to try for the 3 GFIs first, because he's got a skill reroll, hasn't he? Everyone else was making dodges through that gap. So while he was very unlucky to roll double skulls there, I believe the correct play was to move this character to here or here first. So Kaution won't be completely unhappy right now, but of course unlikely to be too happy. Especially this guy's in the way, isn't it? So he can go 3, 4 double GFI to hit, and then he's got him to respond. Or he can stand him up and save the GFI. I think he's got to make the extra GFI. I think you shouldn't be pulling people up to make a 2D block as much as it's really nice to hit a Garda. I feel like you have to be bringing everything back to deal with these 2 war dancers in your backfield that are about to win the game. But, you know, there's something to be said for just banging somebody out, isn't there? He'll be getting a mighty blow hit, and it will be like getting in the way up there isn't the worst thing in the world. I guess now he's thinking about whether he should double GFI, and I think he's got to, right? You have to have the recovery. Like, you just have to. Hello, Nolly. That's going to be a good game later. Nolly versus Cyber will be following this. Very exciting. Got to reroll it. Gets the pow. He'll sidestep to here, won't he, for as far away as he can from the runner. Unless he's a madman. I guess you could go here for more chance of being in the tackle zone of the dancer. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I can see that. Yep, and it worked. Ah, well, no, this would have still been better. Could have been on the diagonal. But, so that's 1 GFI, pick it up in a tackle zone. Doesn't kill the fucker, but he can screen and, you know, well, he can cage it, right? He can cage and screen and hope for the fucking best, but it's still grim. Look how bad this is now, though, you know, like, and I know he double won, but like, imagine if he'd got him to like here or something. Like, it's so much unbelievably stronger, because ultimately these would have been 1 in 36s, and this was a 1 in 9. Like, this was definitely the play, even though he rolled a double skull. This was 100% the play to get this guy around the ball. Stomp him at the end. Yeah, I don't think he can afford to. He hasn't got a bribe, has he? Is he gonna mark here? Like, he should probably screen somewhere, right? Oh my god, he's not going for the pickup. Oh no. Oh no. Well, I think versus elves, you have to not leave the ball on the ground. I think he had to go for the pickup. I just think he had to, right? He's got guard on defending him and stuff. I think he had to go for the pickup. Yeah, I think around elves, do not leave the ball on the ground. Is a saying I've heard. It's what Moradam said to his child at birth. And it's you know, it's words to live by. Yes, do one of those, but even then, you've got to pick it up, man. You got to pick it up versus elves. You just got to. Why? Because I gotta. Ah, well, I mean, that's one of the nicest things anyone's ever said about me, Perivale. It's that I'm going mad slowly. Most people would describe it as either already happened or rapid. I mean, the worst thing that can happen to you is, yeah, exactly, yeah. The worst thing is like a bit of a bad scatter or whatever, and make it easier to pick off a guy and get it. But yeah, like this is still like super easy, barely an inconvenience, isn't it? That's like a 3+ dodge, and that's without even trying, right? And then he can cancel this, so he can do a 1D there to clear, and then he's got like a 2, and then a 2, and then away and pass. That's probably what he's going to do, right? Probably going to pass to him, I imagine. He's also got a blitz, so you could think about that. You could blitz this one. You could have blitzed this guy, and then, okay, so he's just not, I don't know what he's doing.
Glorious.
Okay, but there you go. Happy days. Happy days for Kaution. Just rely on your opponent making a 3+ without dodge when they could have, blitzed this guy, tagged this guy, 2D blocked him, and then they would have been making a 2+ dodge. But didn't want to do that. Instead, wanted to roll a 3+ and fail, and probably lose the game. So there you go, nice one, Kaution. Good things come to those who wait. Thank you very much, Paulus, for, well, not staying fantastic, joining Team Fantastic. Absolutely glorious. Thank you very much. Yeah, you see, Kaution knew something I didn't. It was that he was going to try this 3+ dodge instead of doing anything good. Well, the thing is, if you 2+ leap, then how do you get out, right? So that's the problem. But so if you're going to 2+ leap, then you bring like somebody down here. You dodge somebody through there for the assist, and then you 2+ leap, pick it up, punch them, and that. They do say that, Nelicius. You know who says that? Rick, after he's done something terrible. It's absolute bullshit. It's absolute bullshit that you have to play your opponent. You know, no offense to Rick. Everyone knows I love Rick, right? And he's good at Blood Bowl. But the playing your opponent that he always says after he does a terrible move versus a shitter is completely incorrect. It's just it's terrible. You should make the right moves regardless of your opponent. You should just make the right moves. And you can play your opponent. Okay, so he's right to an extent in that if you're playing Ducky and you get half a chance, maybe you should go for it. You know, if you're playing Gdanik and you get like something that, like, you know, you get maybe there's a chance that you might not get against you know, you might not get as good a chance against him. You'll have like a lower bar for when to roll the dice against a better coach than a bad coach, right? So there is an element of that. But Rick always just like leaves like a 1D on the ball and was like, it's all right, my opponent won't be good enough to spot it. And that is wrong. That is wrong for sure. Well, yes, Nelicius, that's what me and Elliot were talking about. Sorry, Elliot and I were talking about the other day. And we agreed, but then, you know, Chunter disagrees, right? And you know, who am I to say if I'm right or wrong? So it might be that, and you know, because there's a lot of luck in Blood Bowl. So by trying to downplay the luck element, maybe you're shooting yourself in the foot a little bit as well. You know, like that it's not that cut and dry. Like, obviously, seeing there's a skill element and a luck element, it makes sense that if you are superior in the skill element, you want to reduce the luck as much as possible to increase your edge, right? That's obvious. But there is still a lot of luck in it. Like, it's not as if you can make it 100% skill versus somebody terrible, right? And you probably can't even make it 95% skill. So then there's some things like fouling or whatever that are like pretty high variance that maybe you should still carry on doing versus somebody who isn't that good, just because it's so powerful. So there you go. You can be mine. Allo Dadle, thank you very much for the raid. Absolutely glorious. I do feel it's about 60-40 luck skill in this game, yes. When you look at the best players winning 80% of the time, you know, if you assume that the best person in Blood Bowl is 100% of the time the better coach, and they only win 80% of the time, that means of 100 games, 20 of them they lost because of luck, which means 20 of them they won because of luck as well, right? It didn't matter how good they were. If they can lose 20 of them because despite how well they play, then they're winning 20 of them despite how well they play, right? So so then that makes it a 60-40 luck skill. Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Cozen strength busting natty. Oof. Oof. He did through his last reroll. Yep, it was a strange play by Cozen. I feel like Kaution has got away with one here a little bit, but you know, like he's obviously unlucky to get the leap in sack anyway. So. Hello, Mankiz Meat Throttle. Amazing one turn the other day, by the way. Amazing. Unbelievable. If anybody hasn't seen the Mankiz game, it might be on YouTube. I don't know. I don't know where we are on the YouTubes. The YouTubes is delayed. I think it's on YouTube. Yeah, it is. Yeah. That's the play of the round, isn't it? I think Mankiz's game is the play of the round. If you ask me so far, it was funny. Somebody posted on the Discord the play of the round with being Chunter's one turn, but it was definitely Mankiz's. You have been watching K-Fog, brilliant stuff. I don't know what game you've been watching, Chandra, but he did try to slow push up the pitch. He just lost his ball. He couldn't carry on trying to push up the pitch then, could he? Much. He could have gone for the ball pickup, but I mean, like, he hasn't been able to get forward, has he? But I think that's if that's a criticism of Kaution, it's somewhat unwarranted. Is he had to scrap for the ball? Like, you know, his main issue is coming out not 1-0 down, right? So at least he's avoided that for the time being. So this drive is pretty much a success now, even if he comes out a 0-0, it's still a success that he hasn't lost after that 1D. He did give him a 1D, but I mean, it's hard not to, you know, like it's hard not to, and you can always just uphill with wrestle. And oh no, he hasn't got tackle. So is it pretty relevant that he hasn't got rackle? So he's not. His odds of one uphilling him aren't very good. He could have done, yeah. Yeah, he could have done. He could have done. But, you know, it's, I don't know. It wasn't that likely to work, was it? It was a 3+5+. And it can get you the dancer, and it still ended up like something failed, and it wasn't the end of the world. Like, I don't know, I think I can see a lot of people doing the same kind of thing. Yeah, should he have probably tried to play safer? Probably. I would have liked to have played safer and just blitz with Mighty Blow. But who knows? It was just in the CCL general, Mankers. It was just literally in CCL general. There's been a guy like been posting all things, hasn't he? He's been like posting teams and stuff, and oh, it's in scheduling. It's in playoff scheduling. He's been like posting like players and teams and all sorts of things. Posted play of the week, which my reply was, you need to watch the Mankers game because, you know, no offense to Chunter, but his was automatic. Like his was just a lucky rock, and then did the kind of obvious play, you know. He got a helpful kickoff event rather than a normally killing attempt. It was almost click right, click end zone. I guess some people would be like, oh my god, he did an uphill. But he had to do an uphill. So once you have to do an uphill, then you obviously do it with the Edge 5-1 and do the thing where if you double power, you still get it, you know. Like it was pretty obvious, just well, I say that. Not obvious to everybody, but even though I don't play rats, it was pretty obvious to me that would be the way to do it. Once I realised I couldn't do it the way it's not the way I wanted to do it, but once I realised the way that I wanted to do it would take an uphill, then I would have found the way that Chunter wanted to do it. Like Chunter did do it, if you see what I mean. Hello, Skuro. Free to join in if you want, buddy. No, I think throw teammate, because throw teammate ones are like kind of explicitly baked into the rules, aren't they? Speaking of Skuro, they're baked into the rules. Way. And so that's like a bit more. I think people can handle that a bit more. That like, you know. Plus, it's like goblins and shit. It's kind of funny, right? It's kind of funny when a shit team scores against you, whereas when the fucking best team score against you, when you've like, you know, you've played your best and you've stopped them, you know, and you've like, you're just on the verge of winning and they fuck you over. It's a lot less fun, isn't it? Whereas it's kind of fun when an idiot team, when a shithead idiot team scores against you. It's easier to take. Maybe Savage, maybe. Plus, like it feels like more gamey as well, doesn't it? To this just got here, hasn't it? No. All right, he's getting the outlet around. I like here because then you've got guard there, and then you've got another player to deal with there. It's screening. These like getting out, you know, like I don't know, I quite like that, but getting through is good because you've got the handoff option, haven't you? Which you often need against elves, and he has got a lot of stuff in the way, so, and it's basing another player. It's pretty decent on that dodge. Cozen, I don't know who Cozen is, but Kaution is looking tight to score. Cozen is looking like he's not going to score at all. And it's going to have to get some people back to stop, in fact. Yes, Trick, incredible. That was really cool. And so I don't know, some things, you know, not to take anything away from Chunter, because a lot of people wouldn't have seen it and stuff, but that was a proper K-Fog one turn, was the Mankers one. Mankers did the sexy chain with Chaos, didn't he, a few seasons back, which was very nice as well. So very good at the old chains. Yeah, it's funny because Cozen, it's like it was in between both, wasn't it? So I was like, are you talking about both of the teams? Because, you know, it looks like both teams are going to struggle to score. Yeah, Kaution is like, that's why I quite like this dodge through, because there is a good chance that he uses this as the handoff to skull. But Cozen's out of rerolls. He probably does want to leave like some kind of scoring threat on, just in, you know, so that Kaution can't go ham on turn 8. Fair enough, Raven, fair enough. But like, it's close to Kaution as well, right? So it could have been a deliberate thing of these are both the same. Is Blitz, is he going to GFI? Is he going to double GFI? Oh, we're going to get tree on the ball. Oh, he is, isn't he? We're going to tree ball. Oh no, he's rooted. We're not going to. No, it was off the screen when I saw it, right? It was like this. What was it like? It was like this or something, and I was like, oh my god, he can get in. And then moved the camera. Oh no, he can't. He can't get in. It would have been a great play though, wouldn't it? It would have been a great play. Rooted tree moving 4 squares. I mean, you could do it in tabletop. you could do it in tabletop. It would even give you tilting equity as well once you've been playing for an hour and a half. In the second half, when it looks like your opponent's going to get back into the game, you could be like, oh man, I've just realised my tree was rooted that turn. Oh, it's too late to go back now, isn't it? Oh man, I'm so happy I don't go to 40k in Warhammer tournaments anymore. Absolute horrible people. You know, I'm sure they were all genuine mistakes though. Sure. He has got the sideline here, but he can't clear it, can he? With the players he's got, he can't clear. He might be able to. Yeah, he's going. No, okay. If he double GFI'd, right? If he double GFI'd and Powell's here, and then he dodges through, he could have like sideline caged. But this is dodge. Yeah, exactly, man, kids. Like, I've done that before, genuinely. Like, I think in real life, Blood Bowl, like tabletop Blood Bowl, I think the forgetting Blizzard is like one of the easiest things to do, and one of the easiest things to like be gamey about, because everyone knows it is easy to do as well. You're right, but it's like, I've forgotten about Blizzards loads of times. So many times I've forgotten about Blizzards, but I'm sure I've played people that, you know, like, you know, when it was my turn, when it was their turn, they forgot about Blizzard, and then when it was my turn, they remembered. You know, like, I'm sure everyone's played people like that. He just can't do this, right? He can't get into range because he's there to be in range, and that's not good enough. I think if he's going to score on the run, the way you do it is by double GFIing, blitzing this guy, powering him, and then you run the ball there and dodge, which is pretty risky because there's still the counter threat, but it is edge 5, so maybe it wasn't too bad. But like, here just isn't good enough, right? And here gets properly served. Maybe not. Maybe you can go there, but it's fucking dodgy. I guess you do. I guess you do go there because, or even just still go. Even just still go there. It's pretty dodgy though. A snow machine, yeah. I don't know, even then, these things are still super easy to forget, honestly. They're still super easy to forget, those things. What I would get would just be like a Norse board. Right, let's have a look. Norse Blood Bowl pitch. Yeah, it's ice, right? So the Norse Blood Bowl pitch is covered in ice. So I would just get a Norse Blood Bowl pitch. And if it's blizzard, just literally switch the pitch for a Norse Blood Bowl pitch, and then at least you would fucking know that it was snowing, right? You'd be like, oh look, it's snowing now. I think that would be the best way. Like literally, even with a big thing saying it, you're just gonna forget. So yeah, so he does do the GFI and get it. Yeah, it's pretty. It's decent. He's got a chance. He's got a chance with this, but I mean, it's 2D on the board, isn't it? Is the problem with this strategy is it's an instant 2 dice on the ball. Yeah, well, not instant. Yeah, he's got to roll. He's got to roll a 2+ for 2 dice on the ball. Oh, okay, he's going to roll an extra 2+. He could have, of course, cancelled with this guy, but he chose to make an extra 2+ on the absolute critical game-deciding turn. And I know this makes him more responsive, but you know, that's asking a lot, I think, with no rerolls. Not what I would have done. Gets the power. See, like that's the thing. I think he had to do the double GFI blitz. Like I think he just had that. He had to do that, and he kind of paid for it in the end, didn't he? Because he did feel like he had to do this. Oh wow, brutal scatter, brutal scatter. I mean, he's defended the score, but he's not going to counter score. And to be fair, like who could even counter score anyway, right? The Edge 5 dancer. I guess the Edge 5 dancer just leaps up and runs over here, or even leaps off over here. Oh, he's got a catcher. The catcher can be in range with GFIs. Jesus Christ. Disgusting. Oh, that's pretty sick, isn't it? That is disgusting. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, that's disgusting. Imagine if Cozen had saved a reroll. He'd be looking pretty decent odds to score next turn. Tree doing good work, isn't he there? Just rooted away. Hello, Xander. I always think of fucking, what's it called? Buffy. God. Artemis loves Buffy. He's basically obsessed by it. Just maybe an exaggeration. It feels like he likes it more than he should, but I enjoyed it when I was a kid. What's your name? There you go. It is Buffy. Yeah. I like the original. Like I like the movie. I like the movie Buffy. Not just because I thought it was a good movie, but I also liked Christy Swanson. Foo-wah. Foo-wah. Well, now I'm distracted. He's not scoring. I guess he could score, right? He could blitz out with Zara. And then lob it to her with the blitzer, could lob it to her. Might be better just to try and desperately hold on to the ball though. And just hope you don't get scored on. I think it literally is probably the best. The best bet is probably to not try to score. Do you know what Gdanik would have done? He would have fireballed Zara, got 4 knockdowns, and then just scored. Well, now he's definitely given up the score, hasn't he? Which I think is the correct thing to do. Disgusting Gdanik, hello. Oh god. It's a good question, yeah, because he's got stand firm next to it. He could yeah, I think, yeah, look, it's really good, isn't it, if you do this, because you've got stand firm, so you're not going the crowd. It's so good if you pick it up, but if you fail, it's so bad, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, I think this is really good. Because all he can do is uphill you, and you've got stand firm, so he can't surf you. Just like he'd be leaping in here on a... I guess. Oh, he could chain. Oh god, he could. Yeah, you could totally have chained him off if he wasn't stand firm easily, couldn't he? You would have easily chained him off if he wasn't stand firm. But being able to stand here is really nice. Oh, the double skulls. Yeah, could not have chained him off. Could have not surfed him. I mean, that was going to be really tough for the Woodies to score there, even with a reroll. So, not the worst half, honestly. For Kaution, that's not the worst half after how badly it started, getting your runner sacked instantly, and then getting him Kaz later. Very, very lucky that his Apo worked. I mean, I don't know if it was a badly hurt or not, but still, you know, like obviously not that lucky to get your runner Kaz'd off 2 blocks. I don't recall what the injury was. But regardless, it would have been terrible if he'd lost him here. So. It's still a game anyway, but the Woodies have got a full team. But you know, you never know, right? With lack of reroll discipline and a wizard and tackle everywhere, this isn't a done deal. We might see a Daka, we might see a disastrous Daka. Or we might see an expertly executed Daka. Who knows? And we could see. Anything. Here we go. This looks like it's going to be a half Daka. The old half Daka. This is a bit shit. Oh, yeah, he's got this one. That's big enough. Yeah. That's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's still the same. I didn't see which one of the mighty blow. I'll literally count from this one, but it's the same. Same movement. I wonder if it was better to punch first, so you'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So I wonder if it's better to do this 3D first, even though it's a 1 in 27 fail, just because at least then you would have had your dancer protected. Probably correct to have done the tree hit first, because it's still balls fully protected, right? It's fucking dwarves. So I think it was definitely correct to do. And plus he's block, isn't he? He's block guard tree, yeah, he's block. Do this 3D first, and then you can get the dancer. But I guess he's just put another player in to protect the dancer anyway, so it's fine. Yes, Nick, yeah. The half dash. But it's weird, isn't it? Because it's like you don't want every offense by default is a bit of a half dacker, isn't it? Because you don't want to engage. Particularly, even as like a super heavy team, you don't particularly want to be the one making the initial contact, do you? Because you see a lot of games where people try and step in, as say orcs against dark elves, things like that. They try to step in and initiate contact to force through, and the agility team just makes loads of 2 dice blocks and completely blunts their attack, and it's. So I guess it's not that far from taking the kind of the half dacker, which is most people's offense of standing everybody here, to just stand everybody here. Why not? Has he brought dwarves to an elf fight? Yes, Sandy, yes. That is the number one thing in Blood Bowl is roll good, and making 0 removals is terrible. He needs to watch replays of Singolo and Ungern, and really, start making Muppet Pac-Man. Really start making a Kaz every single block. But to be fair, that was the thing, isn't it? It's funny because his initial turn where he got that 3 dice to increase the knockdown, that did contribute to him to exposing the ball to the 1D, which then led him scrambling back to try and get the ball, and then scrambling to try and get forward. And I guess he didn't get to tee off with Mighty Blow as much as he would have wanted to. But even then, like, still on weight of blocks, you'd have expected him to have done something by now. In fact, he's been outbashed, hasn't he? He took a Kaz from the Mighty Blow, and the Woodies haven't even had to use their rapport, so it's definitely been unlucky. But that is one of the ways to, like, minimise attrition versus the bash teams, particularly Dwarves, isn't it? Is to make the game about the ball, and then they can't just tee off as much as possible. Yes. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Tree men are a strange thing, aren't they? They don't make a lot of sense. They don't make a lot of sense because to walk as slow as they do, like, because they can still block people, right, and they can still tackle people. I don't feel like they should be movement 2. They're like movement 6 or something in Warhammer, or were, because they're fucking massive and they got big strides, haven't they? I saw a great thing the other day, and it had like it compared somebody like I don't know if it was a pro runners or whatever, but there was a girl about 5 foot and a bloke about 6'5", and they were both running the same speed. and the 5 foot girl looked like she was running like 3 times faster than the guy. It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny, the difference. So yeah, we have got the half Dakar, haven't we? I can imagine it's funny, isn't it? It's like that's why Bolt was so good, wasn't it, with his gigantic strides. Makes a big difference. So like, you know, and in Warhammer, as I say, Warhammer trees have always been fast. Like, it makes sense, doesn't it? If they can fight, they can't move that slowly, right? Like, so that they can move their arms and everything at a reasonable pace. Otherwise, how could they block anybody and stuff? No matter how slow they, like, no matter how strong they are. So I know you can say it's a balance of the movement too, and it's fair enough because they're a tree, but it also doesn't make a great deal of sense that they're that slow. Yet they can still do things. Or they've got really agile upper bodies. they've got the upper body of like you know, somebody, a defensive lineman, but they just can't move their legs. Mm-hmm. Hard to imagine, isn't it? No. Oh yeah, they're constantly taking root. Okay. Yeah, that's... Oh, there's a Deathlock. He's finally done something. Dead, dead, dead. I mean, I think it is a stretch when you think of their strides and like playing American football. I know it's Blood Bowl, not American football, but like, you know, it's really fast and frantic. And if you like, I don't know, I think it's it would look weird. It would, like, you know, could you imagine like them just having, you know, like just moving normally from the upper body and then really slowly? It'd be weird. You know, maybe you're not meant to think about this. Maybe you're not meant to think about this. But now I can't think about anything else. Yeah, that was good play. That was a good play from Kaution there. Finally made a Kaz. Yeah. How lizards are just as fast in the blizzards, and it's funny, and aquatic skinks become terrible in pouring rain. I find funny. It's funny in like sweltering heat, they're terrible, aren't they? Like really, lizards get absolutely fucked by the weather. I bet if you look at people on stilts, Ducky, I bet they do fucking amazing things actually. I bet like the pros on stilts are like are just better than most people not on stilts. Interesting decision to engage more over here. I feel like just dodge this guy out and screen better. Could have just not blitzed that turn, I think. Just because now this is critical. This is a must reroll dodge, right? Whereas you could have just had the catcher there and then dodge that out anyway, just for 2D'ing armor 9 guy. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you probably shouldn't apply any logic to a Blood Bowl game, should you? You know. Like dwarves. Like, I've always hated that the short, fat people are the best fighters. And it's like, you know... it's a bit, It's a bit... It's a bit silly, isn't it? But that's a common fantasy thing, isn't it? Way, hello Goliath. Tall and fat, not so bad, is it? Tall and fat, not so bad. There's some good sumo wrestler fighters. Well, not that good at fighting. But you know, tall. There's Tyson Fury, isn't he? He's the world champion. He's not fat, but he's fat for a boxer, isn't he? For a boxer, he's a bit fat. Yeah, Butterbean, yeah. Except, if Butterbean was 4 foot tall, he wouldn't be. First of all, he wasn't that good. He wasn't really good at fighting. But if he was 4 foot tall, he'd be a lot worse, wouldn't he?
Mike Tyson was very short for a heavyweight boxer, and I would suggest quite dangerous. And the most popular figure, well, certainly during my lifetime in Marvel Comics, was of course Wolverine. Also, somewhat diminutive.
Yes, never portrayed as short as he actually was meant to be, but yes.
Yeah, certainly not on film. Hello. I am cooking for the kids. I will be in and off, but I figured you sounded a little exasperated by watching a live game and its frenzied pace. I might keep you company for a minute or two.
Thank you very much, PC. Yes, you can tell my mind's wandering to realism, and it's always a bad sign, isn't it?
And I've always liked the phrase. I mean, I do think you're right. You know, I would take a good big guy over a good little guy. But I do like the phrase, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog.
Yeah. It's not true, though. No. It's definitely the size of the fucking dog.
Half angry big dog can bite an angry little dog all just in half, can't it? Just snap and it's gone. So
yeah,
it's encouraging, but not entirely, to be lived by.
Oh dear.
I have just fed my fish, by the way, and all 4 of them came to the surface. So.
Wow. Yes, Caution's, in case nobody understood why PC said that, Caution's team name is the hilarious PC's missing fish from Timmy's insistence that PC's fish are not real.
The fact is that the lumbering giant Dimmy just scared off my fish. They wouldn't surface when he was anywhere near. So something about him intimidates fish. He perhaps looks like a heron or smells like one. And the other team also, obviously, possibly a meme reference to Eliod and his famous squirrel antics.
Yes, glorious.
Or just that Acorn is a lovely rentable star now.
And don't start thinking about pickup roles. Well, the thing about pickup roles is, how I think pickup roles should be is you roll if it's in a tackle zone. Or like if there's nobody within 3, like, so you know, if it's not in a tackle zone, you don't roll. Or if there's nobody within 3 squares of you or whatever, you don't roll.
Oh, I quite like the 3. That's interested me, Jim, because we already have a 3 around plenty of things, don't we? So that does interest me. It has always bemused me that in a sport these people would be played all their lives, trained for all their lives, paid a fortune to do. They can't pick the bloody ball up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's absurd.
It isn't, it isn't, because, you know, if you've seen any American football game, when the ball gets on the ground, it is an absolute clusterfuck. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's horrendous. Like, the scrambles for it are mental. So I can understand wanting to represent that a little bit. But also, in Blood Bowl, like, Second Ed, you just picked up the ball. If you went in the square of the ball, you just picked it up. You didn't have to roll. So, like, I could see, like, if you're not under threat, you just pick it up because it's a ball and it's easy.
Always remember that Blood Bowl was originally designed by some people who were drunk and hungover in a pub on a Sunday watching American football highlights, a game they did not understand, and then made a game to simulate it, which I think is brilliant, and mostly how games should be designed.
Yeah.
So some of it is very much a hungover Englishman's interpretation of American football via watching the highlights.
Yeah. Yeah, plus it's like not only it's not an American football, is it? It's like it's covered
No.
in spikes and shit, so like
Yes.
it's a bit tricky to pick up. Like you can't exactly just run in and pick it up, can you? Plus it's gigantic.
I still feel if it was my job, I might do it more than half the time.
Yes, yeah,
But I mean, I do take your point. Plus, also, realism and Blood Bowl are not. I get somewhat queasy when people say, "Oh yes, but it wouldn't really be like that." No, it really wouldn't. You're right, and hence it doesn't matter.
yeah.
Because when I get attracted by a tree, I don't find it very difficult to walk away.
Yeah, but it's interesting because it's 6 and 2 threes because like yes, everyone goes, oh, it's just fantasy, you shouldn't get hung up on that. But yeah, but I want it to like make sense. Do you know what I mean? Like the
Yes,
laws
there
of
should be
physics still apply, don't they? And
a
stuff
coherent
like that.
universe theory still has to hold, doesn't it? It still has to. I mean, intercepting before it's thrown. We all know why that exists, but it's terribly awful, isn't it? It's just terrible.
Yeah. Mechanically makes sense and things like
It
that.
does, but it is a wrong thing. As of course are all Wood Elf teams.
I believe so, Raven. Yeah. He's a legend, though, isn't he, Joe Johnson? Like he's made some great games and certainly. Very,
absolutely, Raven. Yes, I think that's true. And what Jim said is true. That doesn't stop him being a legend. That gave us some wonderful things to play with.
Yeah. Is he blitzing the dancer? He's got to be. Yep. Good. Not Mighty Blow, though. So, like he hasn't had that many Mighty Blow hits. It's funny. But gets the KO anyway. Would have been a Kaz if he'd had Mighty Blow. Like he hasn't got that much Mighty Blow on the team, has he? Like 4 Mighty Blow.
It's not a huge amount, no. I mean, this team got a big, good early record, and I don't know if that was because he went up and punched down a bit, but it doesn't seem quite as blooded as a team that comes through in the more mid-season to me. I mean, that said, there's a lot of nice things there, but it also got such a good record. There was no point in playing it on when a Mighty Blow on that strength would have been really nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe another couple of stand firms.
Yeah, for sure, because he could so easy for him to lose against.
Fine, but it's very basic. Not special about the runner at all.
No, but Dwarves are a great team for like a low effort and then a chance of winning, isn't there? Like I think have you been to the final twice with like low TV Dwarf teams?
Yes.
Yeah, like and I know that's you, but still, like it's you wouldn't expect to do that with any other race, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean it is inherently because I'm really lazy. It's very easy to get, for me, sadly, to get a team of dwarves into the challenge on about 20 to 25 games usually, which is fun in some ways, and I do find it challenging.
Yeah, and they're competitive. Like the big thing is they're competitive, and just lots of teams cannot be competitive with this amount of games and this amount of development. Yes,
absolutely. I mean, you'd be foolish to try and think that you could make a Nurgle team in 25 games that would compete well in anything.
Yeah. Yep. Correct.
It's vaguely possible if absolutely everything went your way for 25 games, but that's not particularly likely. And I say the run is ordinary. I mean, it is Blodge, so it's fine. He's got a few things on this team that make you might like it. There is some stand firm. There is a strength 4. I mean, I always think 4 is your base level of Mighty Blow. My goal when I start a dwarf team is usually to get to 3 or 4 guard before I start really branching out, because that's how you stabilise, because you're all strength 3, so you actually get bullied a lot at low TV. You have to rely on the armour and the block. So once you can get 3 or 4 guard, you should be able to stabilise and actually get some more traction into games, and then you can start looking to generate things happening with Mighty Blow. If you get Mighty Blow too early, I think you're just going to get blown off the park a lot by orcs. Even by Chaos, because they've just got strength over you, and lizards for sure.
Oh man, look at that! He failed Dauntless. Rerolled the GFI, then failed the Dauntless and Skulled, and now Zara might just.
Zara's all over this, isn't it? Surely Zara's the answer here.
Yeah. Stabby stab.
I'm even wondering whether I bother to take any hits beforehand or just go for it. I wouldn't stab, I'd blitz.
Yeah.
I'm stronger. I mean, people overstab Jim for me.
Well, I didn't. I thought it was Blodge. In my defense,
right. If it was the dancer, then yes, I might be stabbing it.
But then
an interesting 2020 rules. Yeah, vomits is a stab basically, isn't it?
Yes.
with a slight risk to yourself. So trolls now have an answer to blodgers, which is interesting.
Oh yeah, bolt. He could have bolted.
Oh yeah. So and it still shows on mine and yours. Yeah. Is it a touch arrogant to not bolt here?
It is a bit, isn't it? Yeah, that's one thing that I think. You know, I think it's okay. I think but he should have thought about it. I think it's something he should have thought about and probably hasn't. But I think it's fine not to.
Yeah, I mean, he is so all over this team at the moment, but they are elves. One slip and it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like just having the runner back as cover, and then if you've got the runner and a bolt back,
100%.
You're pretty much covered.
You've got cover, and I do like insurance, so that's probably why he hasn't done it, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, and maybe he's gone through all of this, in his opponent's turn, and was just that's why I didn't think about it at the start of the turn.
No. Now, I confess, I would be doing this. I had the other devil thought in my head. First of all, do we whiz? And second of all, do we just go straight for it with Zara while we've got a re-roll to throw at her, despite her loneliness? And I think he's right. He's so on top of this elf team that if he can just knock them over or take the odd removal before he goes for it, there's probably no way out for them. So it may feel a bit greedy, but I do think it's probably the right strat.
Yeah, definitely correct. I think even if it wasn't a loner, I think you've got such a strong position by taking all these hits, isn't it? It's brilliant.
This is the really important one because of the sidestep on the dance.
Yeah. Huge. Especially it's going to go to here, isn't it? On a push.
I'm worried. I have 195,000, but, welcome on.
So I wonder if this guy... I think this guy probably shouldn't have moved. I think you'd probably do the hit, and then if he goes there, then you bring it into sandwich him or whatever.
Yeah, I would want to see what happened to the hit first.
I don't like doing that hit first either. I guess... Because now he might sidestep here.
Yeah.
He's going to go back anyway.
Yeah, he'll go backwards now.
Wow.
He's got him, which is great. Okay.
Doesn't matter where he went.
Doesn't matter because he's gone, but I didn't like the sidestep choice.
I hated it. He trapped himself.
Neither Arthur or Martha. I mean, you either come one way to have a go at the, defending the ball, or forwards to create an out ball. Yeah. But that didn't seem to be either.
Ooh, puts in the re-roll. Doesn't get it.
Well, I do think the re-roll was worth it. I mean, that's a lot of dice chances there.
Yeah. But you see, this is the thing, right? Even I wonder if the stab was better, right? If you're not going to re-roll it, I guess the thing is, if you power him, you get to pick it up afterwards, don't you?
Yeah, that's the primary reason, because she's strength 4, blodge, AG3. You can sweep it up.
Yeah, I guess that.
Now there's an out ball here, isn't there? The wrestle piece on the far right side heads up the touch line, and then you just hoik it. Surely. Dauntless, of course, never fails. I mean, I know you're still hostage to the midfield runner, but the beard that's been midfield wouldn't make it across, so I do think that's the play. I think he does too. He's just trying to get a screen of some sort up there, isn't he? If he can tag the dwarf that's in front of the wrestler, that does make it massively stronger.
But he's popped his sure feet, so now he's having a crisis of confidence.
Yeah, he is. I still think it needs doing.
Yeah, I think so.
His worry is he wants the other elf to come through too. And if this one fails, obviously it's just game over. But isn't it anyway?
Yeah, that's the thing.
You see, I think that's... Yeah.
Alright, so he's going to give
I'm not sure that's going to be enough.
No, neither do I. I think he's going to give the ball to this guy and then, run over here, isn't he?
Yes. And then I think he'll bolt the runner. But I think he had to tag that beard. And he's gone 2 away instead. I'm not sure that's good enough. But I haven't done the exact maths. Perhaps he has. They have. I don't know Cozen's gender. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3.
You can't get away.
He can't get away from that.
And you're getting bolted anyway.
He can't get away from that beard that should have been.
Yeah, he had to make the extra GFI.
Yeah.
Just had to.
And then the wrestle needed to tag the runner, didn't it? And he hasn't done either.
Well, if you do the GFI, then you've got the screen, haven't you? And then there's only the runner.
A punt now? He can only bolt one of them, and
yeah, punt isn't bad, is it? That would have been better.
Though the runner could probably just go straight for it, but even then, it's then unguarded.
Yeah.
I mean, this I don't think ends up working well for him. I see bad things in his future, Jim.
Yeah.
I mean, that lineman has no skills, and
I think
at least 2 dwarves bearing down on him.
I still think you have to bolt him, though. Maybe you don't have to, but like, you almost.
I mean, you can, because then you just knock over the other one, and the runner goes straight for the ball. That's fine.
You've only got 3 turns to win, haven't you? So like,
yeah,
maybe you do.
Aren't you turtle? I mean, have you got anything? I suppose the blitzer on the tree can try and get upfield.
Yeah. Well, you've got Zara.
And
got Zara's. But it's hard, isn't it? This is a big decision. I think you should take like a minute to think about whether to bolt.
I think he'll already have decided. He's been looking at it for a minute already. I wouldn't, because I'm not sure I'm scoring this half, and I think I can take the ball away. It's a blockless. I'm going to hit it with the beard. I'm going to bring 2 other dwarves in to cover the ball once it's down. The other one's going to be tagged from behind anyway. I'm hitting it for 2 dice, and it's blockless. That's a 75% hit that I can re-roll if I really need to.
How are you hitting with a beard?
I'm hitting with the beard. On a single go for it. Of course I am, you know.
Oh, you're going to GFI. Oh, God. See? So, I mean, that already would make me want to bolt.
No, I'm hitting with the runner, because then I've got a space afterwards I can pick the ball up with, probably. So the stand firm that's back from them comes forward and tags the wrestler from directly behind.
Oh, no, I like here.
Beard has to go on the edge, doesn't it?
I like here. He can go in there, look, and tag
2, 3, 4... Yeah, but where I want to put the beard is on the edge over the number 10, which then makes surfing him much harder if I'm directly behind him, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. But
so that's why I was thinking there.
I think if he serves him, he loses anyway, right? And he's only a rookie.
Okay, true.
So I would like go there and then get in here. I really like that square. It's funny, isn't it? It's funny that little.
Okay, well the plus strength, I like his space.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have moved the one that stopped near the tree yet, because I'm not sure it's doing. I suppose it's covering the catcher out that side, so that's fine. Covered the backfield one. Blitzer doesn't go till the end because it's a receiving option if we get the ball. Although so's the other blitzer right over the other side of the field. But yeah. I mean, that one will need to go for it, and the one on the tree needs to dodge, so those don't move.
I think Zara can come back here, right, and then you've really got this guy. Like, or even here, there or there, not here.
That's fine too.
No, I think this is shit.
It's a bit more pressure. It makes it harder to get over to where the action is on that side of the field.
He's got to be here, though, hasn't he?
Oh, he's doing the go.
Oh, he's going for the GFI. Wow.
Yeah, did the GFI.
So it's double GFI.
Well, that's ballsy.
It's double GFI.
That would tend to indicate he's hitting with the beard, wouldn't it? And hitting in field so that the runner can sweep up, and then the other beard come across and cover him. Yep. That's the play.
Oh, I didn't like that.
Oof, I mean, it's impetuous youth, I think, there, Jim.
Because like you're 30% to use your reroll, aren't you? On the GFIs. Never mind that you might fail, and then you're only 75%.
He's doing another. I bet you he's doing another. Is he? He shouldn't. Stay there. Stay there.
This guy should do a GFI at the end. I think he should have gone for the pickup and then done a GFI at the end.
But he's going to do it first.
He's just not going to GFI.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
which is suicidal.
So now we've got 2 elves able to just do what they want. We've got a blodge runner though, so the wrestle will have to attack it. Probably on a 1 ball. Oh dear. Oh, Jim.
Yeah.
Well, Elftopia.
This guy can score.
Yeah.
So do you just uphill for a push, and then go through and score?
Well, I'm not. The one he's on, I mean...
Well, this guy could uphill. 1, 2, 3.
The really fast runner can get round there, can't it? And do that from the other side.
Yeah, this guy could uphill, so then at least you've got block for the uphill.
Yeah.
But then if you roll the block in, I guess you can still score if you roll the block.
Well, block and dauntless. I was trying to see. I mean, if you want to be really ballsy, you could 3+, 2+ to put an assist in on the runner, and then that catcher with its dauntless can 1 die it away, Jim.
I think if you're going to do all them dice, it's probably easier just doing the uphill, right?
Yeah, maybe. Okay, well, whatever this plan is, I don't like it.
Ducky would just do the 2-3-3-2.
Yeah, that isn't a terrible option. You can blitz. You could have picked up on a 3 and then blitzed it, and all you need is a push, and then you're 2 and out. I do like that. That's probably the best of the lot. It's less fussing about, and all your dice are on things you actually want to be moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's who called that?
Ducky.
Ducky, yeah. No, Ducky's plan. That's the right one, Ducky.
Not bad at Blood Bowl is Ducky.
And frankly, even if you pick up and it's a 1 in 6, a 2, and you go down on a both down, at least it's rest and you haven't hurt yourself.
Yeah.
No, it's the right plan. And he does the 3 and he does the 1 die. But he does it with a player that can't score. So that, but with the player that could score, is what we're saying. Oh, but the stun could be crucial. How far can he get? Oh, he can't. Right. Yeah. Although when we stand up, we tie up the other beard. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that adds a GFI to the one that isn't strength. Is the other one that's going to have to come back and help out a bit, because we're running out of dwarfs here.
Yeah, it's a huge stun, isn't it?
We stay on that beard, don't we? We don't let that one come to.
Yeah.
It's an enormous stun.
Funny enough, if he'd had that Garda there, that would have got in the way from a lot of these coming through here. Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, all of that turn was pretty bad. The hit angle was nice, but it was too many go for it to risk it. Even I wouldn't have done that plan. And when he did, he then needed to do that 1 more so that the pickup would have been covered better, and he didn't do it. So there was just some odd decisions.
Yeah.
And now we have a huge problem. Do we whiz here, Jim? I mean,
Yes, but it's already too late. Doesn't he just stood this guy up?
Yeah, it is too late. He doesn't whiz.
You have to whiz there. Like, you're about to lose the game.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's not, but I don't know. It's hard. He should have probably thought for longer than he did. But like, this is 55%. You have to whiz.
I think you're very likely to push away, at least.
There you go. I think you have to whiz. Because exactly
the problem.
That.
Yeah, that's why.
You can't always whiz at the end, though, Sagittarius. This is the thing, right? Like, first of all, if you whiz at the end, you can just pick it up and score because you can't, like, cover the ball.
He needs an armor break on an end of turn whiz, and he needs to have the end of turn whiz, which means no fails, which means you can take no risks. It means you can't dodge off the tree.
Yes,
it means there's
actually here, there's not. Right? Blood Bowl 2, you should be able to use your wizard after a turnover. Like, you should be able to in the rules. It's just the Blood Bowl 2 is fucked and can't. So
that's why that had to be a stab, so that there couldn't be a double skull. But no one can do a GFI or anything now. All you can do is end of turn whiz to end the turn.
There we go. It doesn't get tackle zones or anything. Doesn't get
and it's still a 2+. He's added 1 more 2+, so it's 2+2+ with no rerolls.
Yeah, no, he had to bolt first, right?
Had to do it. Yeah.
Bolt first. He had to bolt first, and then
so that you could control wherever it goes.
Yeah.
It's not just about knocking it over; it's about control.
Yeah.
Oh, I've said this before, and people mock me, Jim, but a ball on the floor against elves is a ball that's gone.
Oh, he's rolled a 1! The extra 2+ that he made him roll! Well, there you go. Brilliant.
Well, so we do see OT.
And a surf here. Double surf? Triple surf? Surely at least a double surf.
Surely. But, I mean, well, you can't control it. If you get pals, a couple are going to get knocked over. But you're aiming to try that, aren't you?
Yeah. Surely you should get a double surf. Well, I mean, have to get a single serve. Sorry, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, one is child's
play.
play. It's unavoidably easy.
Yes, yeah. Because even if you roll double power on this hit, you get the serve, don't you? So yeah, one serve was inevitable. Inevitable.
Like Amazon's not winning Chalice.
Correct. Correct. Oh, well, it just didn't make it 3D because I guess he's going to go for the lob to this guy in a tackle zone, who then hands off to Zara. He might just win in normal time here.
It's possible. I've seen stranger dice than that.
Yep.
You have. I mean, there isn't a reroll to put in, but even if you had one, you wouldn't.
Yes.
But you give it a go because it can happen.
Yep. God, this would be amazing.
This would be a ridiculous 6-4. We didn't make the 6.
But if he rolls the 6, like it's not that unrealistic.
No,
it's just a 4-3.
3.
Yeah. Really decent odds if he'd done the pass.
I've seen Chalice's won on worse odds.
Yeah. Yep.
Did they Singola? I didn't see the inducement package. They took the Whiz. That's never bad, although it's not ideal against Wood Elves. Was there anything else, Jim?
They got Zara, didn't they?
Oh yeah, Zara.
Singola, of course, would have taken four bribes and killed everything.
And rented a dirty player line beard.
Roller
blitzers to do so.
Roller. I mean, what he needed to
Roller against elves, yeah.
What he needed to induce was Muppet Pac-Man's dice. That would have made this. That's what he needed. That's what he needed for this game. 0. Like he's made one cast, hasn't he? That was Apod, and that was you've just got to roll better than that really against buddies. But he's won the toss, hasn't he? And he hasn't lost yet, so he's still in it.
Yes.
His dice haven't been too horrendous.
However, I didn't realise quite how many blooming wood elves there still were alive.
Yeah, he's done almost nothing to them.
There's all of them. They're all there. Three of 4 came back from KO. That must be nice.
Yeah, never had it happen in my life.
Someone would have to tell me, Jim.
Oh, there. Right, we need a really fast 8-minute score here from Kaution so that we don't miss any of Cyber Knight versus Nolly.
Frustrating for the Woodies, even if they win, is it's their 50 SPP War Dancer that didn't come back, so they can't get anything on it.
Well, he could get the MVP still.
Yes, I mean this is fascinating, isn't it? We've got a full team of dwarves trying to drive into a full team of elves, and no one's. Oh no, Kaution won a reroll, so
huge.
I mean, it's huge advantage Kaution, isn't it?
Yeah. I was going to say it's funny, right? Because like the 0 rerolls is weird because obviously you'd rather be making 2 dice with block with no reroll, but like it's so easy just for the elves to roll some dice, isn't it? And like if you know not having that reroll, just you can give them half a chance, and it's not going to be that unlikely. But
and dwarves sometimes just have to rely on, and people mock me for it, but they have to rely on using rerolls to cover their lack of mobility, to create mobility. Just like an elf needs to dodge to do that, a dwarf sometimes needs to go for it to do that, because they're so slow they can't respond to things.
Yes.
Or you just accept being out of position, and against elves that usually means you lose.
Yep. Tell you what, it's fantastic that you're here now, PC. It means I can go and get some food because I'm absolutely starving. And
I'll be fairly quick because I do need to crack on and make sure I'm getting something done for me and my son to eat.
Okay.
So in about 10 minutes, I need to disappear for about 10 minutes.
Right. Well, I shall be back by then.
Magic. There's a deal. Okay, so we do pick up. So we've got complete control. We over-advance, but into a reasonably protected forward pocket. Mainly because, of course, we can't risk going anywhere near the tree until it's safely rooted. Now, don't think they will. But there is a blitzer on the corner of this cage, which means we can 5+ in with guard, because the guard has dodge, and then 5+ in with something to hit, or indeed leap. So that's quite tempting to me. We can cancel one at the front, and there's only one guard on it. We can certainly dodge the guard in off the blitzer, and then it's a 3+ leap for a 1 die, with, of course, wrestle on the ball carrier. I don't hate that, but it seems we're not doing it. I mean, we might be just putting some walls up in front and then doing it, because that's possible too. He has cancelled the beard. Oh, I think I may have seen the play, guys. Has to attack from the front. It's the only space that's only covered with one that he's cancelled. No, he's sniping the corner. I think that lacks ambition. %55% to dodge in off the blitzer and get there with the guard. And I'm not sure he'll get another one as easy. As we saw, he had enough elves to put up a decent solid wall in front of them before he did the attack. However, it did chance the... Oh, and the dancer would have leapt in on a 2, wouldn't it? So it's 55%, and if it works, it's 2+ for a 1 die with wrestle. I don't hate that at this stage in the game. But we didn't do it, so we move on. Yes, I mean, I do see your point, Singolo. I just think elves then don't Daka and score quick and you've lost your inducement. Or they run away, wait 3 turns for the death roller to come and then quickly outflank you. But your mileage may vary. I like being able to bolt something. I think it can do something against wood elves, though it's definitely not a strong inducement against them. And Zara, I've never really hired her. So I would probably be looking at other ways of dealing with it, but I'm not sure a roller would be my way. Yes, if they score quickly to get rid of the roller, then you try and 2-1 them, of course. Okay, we're being pushed backwards a little. We do have the time as the dwarfs, but... And this does mean that we're sorting our cage out with better corners. We've still got that blitzer on the one front corner, but of course there's tackle either side of it, meaning there's no route in that isn't on tackle. Dropping that ability to get the guard into the cage suddenly down to 33% from 55%. The leap is still the same to get in, but now there's no way you can cancel all the guards to make it a 1 die. So we now either have to wait and find a way to pull this cage apart, or hope it pulls itself apart as it tries to move forwards, or accept that we're not going to end up attacking this ball at all, and we'll just spend 8 turns waiting for kicks. The saw does suck. Dwarves do get a saw. You can't use a saw against elves. A developed elf team will take the saw out before you can spit. And particularly if you're trying to keep a ball safe, you can't keep the saw safe at the same time, except in a Venga bus. And that's a very limiting shape in some ways. So we are just going to elf wall up in front of this cage. And until the tree roots, it's kind of hard to encourage them to push forwards into it. And Kaution has, a little foolishly, got a good third of his team trapped the wrong side of the tree, not helping the cage area at all. So he either needs to swap back around the tree, heading backwards to then head forwards up the left, reuniting his team that way, or try and get those dwarfs either back around the tree the other way, just as long a journey, or up through the diagonal midfield and then meet the pack as it advances. But Now the tree has managed to move in on the cage. This is not a good position. I don't like it. Well, I bow to your knowledge, Singolo. Certainly I don't feel that's a package I would naturally default to against elves, but you are used to extremely low TV dwarves, even lower than I tend to go. So I'm sure you've had that situation and used that inducement package and do so to success. I've always said there are things about your dwarf coaching I need to learn, because there are bits of it I don't see how I would make work as well as you seem to extremely regularly. So I don't doubt your word. I just don't personally know how I would enact that plan and be comfortable doing so. Feeling I had protection of the ball and chances to score and all of that stuff. Okay, so we were attacking the tree rather than just leaving a dwarf on it and trying to get away from it. I'm not sure that's great. Meaning we do now have to retreat the ball. We can't stay there and we can't build a safe cage. So we're going to have to side swap with a lot less players to do it. And that's going to expose our ball. Something awful. This is not good.
Just put more men on the tree.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say the only answer is to put yet more men on the tree. And that's what we're doing. It's amazing to me how often we do this, all of us. And there we are. Brilliant. We all know you shouldn't be anywhere near that bloody tree. It's even got a name, I won't say, on your extremely family-friendly, Rick Reckless-like channel, Jim. But an idiot attractor. And yet, there we are, being attracted by it.
Thank you. Thank you for not... Yes, we probably shouldn't use that word, should we, anymore? Very politically correct these days in this channel. No swearing.
Well, years ago I made the move from a phrase I've never liked to dice mauling. And I'm much more comfortable saying that, I have to say. I'm quite happy for language to evolve. And I've never been comfortable with the trees, sort of most common used moniker. It's not a phrase that makes me comfortable. So yeah, an idiot attractor. There we are. Why not?
Yes, calling people idiots is totally fine.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying they are idiots. I'm saying the behaviour of trying to attack the tree, most of us in the cold light of day would consider idiotic and something we would rather not be doing. Is that fair?
Well, see, the thing is, the good thing is about the other name is twat is a word for punching somebody, isn't it?
Yes.
So it works on both levels, doesn't it? The twat magnet. So that's the great thing about it.
A punching bag, something to be punched. Sticky, a glued punching bag, a sticky place. A tar pit. I mean, that's what they are in other games, isn't it? A tar pit. Take the hits and try to tie something up. I quite like tar pit. Thanks for being here, Waleed. Lovely that you're telling us you're leaving. That's an encouraging vote to us to carry on in the exact manner we are doing. It shows how loved and appreciated we are, so thanks for sharing that. Sorry, I didn't want to speak for you there, Jimmy, but, you know, just really nice of him to say, I'm leaving you in the middle of this cast you are doing, pouring your very soul into.
Yep, correct.
I've forgiven you for the American War of Insurrection, Skuro, so I've forgiven bigger things. Call it here the American Terrorist Insurrection Incident, leading to our critical loss of sovereignty. Still, maybe one day there'll be reparations.
The thing about that is, of course, PC still remembers it. The day it happened.
Swamp Hermit, Jimmy has declined to play me until the Wednesday at the end of the qualified period for that game. We are scheduled for 8 o'clock Wednesday, unless Jimmy, play now.
No.
I'm going to take... Yeah, there we are. That's...
Sorry, I'm still eating a lovely beef sandwich.
Yeah, I need to go and throw this toad in the hole. I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Oh.
I'm not sure anything's going to happen except Caution's going to lose his ball to the elves because he's playing terribly. He's allowed his dwarves.
The elves just fucked it. He and fucked himself. That's how you get. How do you get 5 dwarves off a tree? Let the dwarf 1D himself.
What? Why? Why would you? Why? I mean, why would you do that though, Jimmy?
Well, he's going to get 2D'd right, and he's 55% to go down off the 2D, so...
He's got guard, you use him as a fulcrum and hit something off him.
And then, also, the power wouldn't have even made any difference, it's still 2D on him. So...
Right. Well, I thought he was doing a fine job there. Tanking hits with his guard and his block, and I didn't like activating him at all, and now you've just freed the entire dwarf team.
I think activating if you're going to wander the Garda... Or maybe he did. Yeah, maybe he did, because that would still be 1D, wouldn't it? So yeah, I guess he was trying to hit the Garda to take it away so he didn't just get instantly 2D'd. Because if he gets instantly 2D'd and powered, it's obviously horrific, isn't it? Like, he's much more likely to get the push than he is to not get 2D'd.
I suppose it's only a 2+ for that not to be as terrible as it was.
That's the thing, isn't it? Sometimes you have to roll the dice yourself. Like, although loads of people, because like I guess they parrot it, or it's good advice for new players is to not roll the, make your opponent roll the dice. But a lot of the time, you have to roll the dice yourself if it's better odds. The only thing that matters is what's better odds, isn't it?
Yes. Someone wrote a very long article saying something like, "Yes, a 6+ may be terrible, but if the other choice is you expect them to fail a 1 in 36, what are you doing?"
Exactly.
And one of those is obviously a much better chance.
Lovely stab here from Zara, makes herself the assist for a blitz.
There is, and there was a lovely 1 die there that could have gone in before the tree with the wrestle, which would have been as bad, but it also would have cleared the route through to the ball a little bit. So I don't know, some odd choices. First to attack the tree, and then for the tree to go, well, I'll help.
I wonder what he does, because he could blitz up here, couldn't he? Or he could blitz there and then just move him up. This is looking very nice for the Dwarves now.
Well, I mean, yes, it is, Jim, but they've still not crossed the halfway line, with only 4 turns left after this, and there's still an entire elf team on the field.
True. Oh, he can hit the dancer. Oh, really nice.
Yeah, except the dancer's made of tough stuff.
Made rustling and gets the...
He rustled.
Down.
I think that's a good choice. The dancer's still got plenty of movement, and the dwarves are right there anyway. He's not going to go in. He had a beautiful... While you were gone, Jim, there was a cage which had a cancelable front, except for... So you could have gone in from the front and had only 1 guard on you. And that guard was a blitzer, so you could have slipped your guard in 55% of the time and had a 1 die with wrestle on a 2+ leap. So if the 55% made it, you do the 2+ leap. If it doesn't, your dancer's safe. You had loads of elves to put in front of it to make it safe so that if it failed, he couldn't move forwards. And he didn't go for it.
And now he's lost the Garda.
Yeah.
So good luck getting a 1D on the ball.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was a big balls play because it was, turn 1 of overtime. And it meant putting your guard and possibly your war dancer at risk. But for a 1 die with wrestle when they're already caged up, are you really going to get a better shot?
Yeah, probably not. But he might get the stop right, and he might get Caution to use a reroll, and then he might get 50-50 kicks. But that's about the best he's going to get at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just settle in for kicks.
Yeah. Now that stand firm Dwarf being a little bit of a tree there.
Tree's going to GFI here, isn't he, presumably, because he hasn't stood up yet. So the only reason to have not attempted to stand up is you're going to GFI
the edge of the cage, aren't you? Although now you might GFI onto the 2 guard mighty blows. Try and hold both of them. Yeah, I prefer that. It also cuts off one of the routes forward a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Cuts the field in half slightly better.
Yes.
You know what I mean, Jim, about a good square and a great square. You can spot that diagonally down is great, whereas just across is only good.
Yeah, my instinct was just there as soon as you got that push.
Oh, I didn't hate the wrestler on Zara. I know she's going to stab, but I just don't give a shit. I might have done the tree first. Of course, both would have failed. So
yeah, I think I'd rather the failure state of the fail in the GFI, because then at least you've also it gives you another chance to just stand him up, right? But
yes, I mean, there's always a chance he doesn't stand up. That could be the fail, couldn't it? So I don't know. I didn't. It's fine. It wasn't a huge turn or mistake. I just might have done it the other way myself.
Yeah, I would have done, because I like Zara being occupied. So now we've got a gaping
me too.
pool. A gaping
She's
pool
quick.
to move down the field.
I don't like quick dwarfs. Because she can secure, the entire of that sideline.
I mean, this is great. See, saying that they've only got 4 turns and they can't get there. They're motoring down the field now, aren't they?
Well, it's also because we put everyone on that one central dwarf.
Yep.
Which, like a tree, we knocked over and it just stood straight back up again. Now, meaning half our team is trapped on a mighty blow, guard, stand firm dwarf.
Yep.
Said the man that trapped half his team on 2 stand firm, mighty blow, guard, flesh columns. But I felt this was more voluntary. Now, we've still got very fast players, so we can still sweep round in front of this drive, but it has given them a real way forwards when they were struggling for one. I'm afraid I did predict turn 1 we might not have another turn where we could get into a cage and have a 1-day.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think I would have gone for it.
Right, I need to go and sort this toad in the hole out.
Glorious. Good luck. Yeah, this is a huge turn, isn't it? Absolutely huge turn for Kaution. Well, hey, Skuro. No, it's his sex life. Oh, there you go. Don't watch the part. No, as soon as I said it, I thought, oh no, oh no. I hope he never hears that. Oh shit. This is looking real bad now as well with all the 2+, right? No dodge on any of these, so could easily just have like no defense at all. Yeah, I never think about anything I say, literally ever, which is not the best thing to then want to be a streamer, is it? You never think about anything you ever say. Everything just gets blurted out instantly. With zero thought. I've literally never thought about anything I've ever said. And don't remember anything. The only thing I remember, the only things that I remember saying are like the really bad ones. Like the really bad ones I remember. But everything else I've just said it and I've forgotten it instantly. It never really like materializes as a thought in my brain. It's It's just. So yeah, it's funny when people talk about no filter and stuff because I don't at all. It's just it's blurted out in one ear, out the other. Done. So the sidestep's not a big deal because he's the other squares are blocked anyway, so it's an easy blitz to free with Mighty Blow, which is nice, isn't it? And get forward a little bit. Just a consolidation turn here. Try to get blitzes out in front if possible. Should be. Zara is technically in range, yep. And there's a Kaz. He's technically out of range now. What he could do is put in 2 players here, and then hit here, and then hit him as well. Which is alright, but I'm not sure it's worth delaying like you guys. That's the problem, isn't it? It might be. It depends, you know, what else you need them for and stuff. It might be okay to do that because it does get him forward and does maybe take out this guy, right? I mean, that's a pretty cool move to chain and get this extra hit, and it does get him forward. But it might be better just to punch and then, like, you know, wrap these guys around.
Starting to look pretty brutal, Jim.
Hello, PC. It is, yeah. What do you think, PC? Would you put in the 2 here and then chain the Mighty Blow on to 2D this guy, or would you use less resources and try and GFI with these guys, maybe? Well, he is not chaining.
No, I don't think I'd chain. I would just hope that I would get the POW because, yeah, I just want to free the blitzer. I don't want to try anything too complex at this point. I don't have the resources to do it.
Oh, I don't
That's
mind
probably. This. I mean, I don't want. No, that's one. I wouldn't go. I'd have been one inside of that. I don't like that being that near edges.
No, that's very close to the sideline.
However, once the dance has gone, I'm not really afeard of very much, Jim.
No, true. True, but he can just get in the way, can't he? And it's easy for him to get in the way if you're on the sideline. Like I'm not scared of anything, which is why I'd be more central, I guess.
Yes, I mean there's a wrestle piece, but I'm not terribly frightened of it. I mean, there's just not really enough Wood Elves left now already. Just the death of Zara has not Zara, of the War Dancer has really denuded this team of its threat.
Yeah, actually making some removals helped. Who could have foreseen such an eventuality?
And that starting a half with no rerolls, you probably had to, you know, separate ball from dwarves in the first turn or 2 to have any hope, or they're just going to drive through you.
Yes, plow straight through.
Yeah, you only need 1 fail, and suddenly there's 5 based elves, and 3 of them aren't standing up next turn.
Yeah.
Probably 1 to 2 stuns and 1 to 2 off field, so you are going to lose them.
Yeah.
Okay, so. We could have tried to chain Zara out there, but there's still no real good things about that. I think we're just trying to stay in front of them, aren't we? And get to kicks.
Yep, which is asking a lot.
Which could work.
It's asking a lot, though, isn't it?
That wasn't good. You can't expect a blockless 1 die to... I suppose a push was great, so it's a 3+ we were looking for there, but not getting it has cost us the win here. Any chance, I think.
But then, you know, the thing is, if you don't do that, you probably just get knocked down and you're in the same road anyway, aren't you? You know,
well, then Zara needs to knock down and the Blitz needs to knock down to clear 2 elves out the way to create the lane that he's now running through. So I slightly prefer it. Plus, there were elves in the backfield that could have tried dodges off to get around in front before I do the risky 1 die if I'm still doing it at that point.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure the turn ordering there was lovely. But, yeah, it's a tough situation, so it's really hard to be
Yeah,
no, it's not as easy to be critical, but it's not very fair.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's so bad now that I'm fine with anything he does, to be honest.
Yeah, anything that at least qualifies as a plan. And that, a 3+ there did push Zara off and really solidify some sort of wall in front of this advance.
This is
but
nice.
its failing
The chain
is
and
brutal.
the block and the free. Oh, he's dub skulled rerolls. This is really nice to. Oh, okay, yeah.
Wow.
Do that.
Well, yeah. I mean, that means he thinks this is done and done. Which, just by moving that elf, he's probably right.
Yeah, that gets him in there. He can go in there.
Yeah. And then there's almost nothing that can be done here.
Yep.
You can take one of the corners out, but the two near you are one stand firm and the other one is Zara, so you need to come around the front and do it to that blitzer. And even then, the strength 4 will just push you away, and then he runs into score. So, yes, unfortunately, that final 1 die failing has probably cost any chance of the elves stopping this.
God. Nilisius and Cybernite are fast at Blood Bowl.
Are they already sort of halfway through?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Nilisius does need to get it tied up before his bedtime, doesn't he?
I mean, to be fair, this is like they started about the same time as they started 8 minutes after this started, so it's not like, this is a whole half in 20 minutes, and at the end of the day, Clopom versus Clopom. It's going to be pretty quick, isn't it? One side receives, bangs out the other side. Then the other side receives, bangs out the other side. And then somebody wins the toss and bangs out the other side. It's pretty much how I envisaged their game going, unless whoever banged out in the first half
I think
banged
they're
out hard enough that the other team
run away and avoid each
other
and do a single blitzer turn, resulting in about 3 KOs by half-time.
Nah, 3
and then
Ks.
one badly hurt late in the second half. Because they never hurt each other, those teams.
That would happen in a league for sure. But in playoffs, there'll be damage. There'll definitely be damage on.
Yeah, there should be.
Right, so he's got.
As I said, there is that incentive for Nolly. I don't know that his parents have allowed him to stay up late, so he does need to get it done.
Yeah, he's a child, isn't he, Nilisius? Like 20 odd. Ridiculous. This is a little bit tricky, isn't it? Like a little bit, not particularly, but a little bit. He has to roll some dice, and he's got no rerolls, so it could go to the coin toss. Like it literally could fail.
I mean, it isn't easy, but it's not challenging, Jim. There's going to be a 1 in 9.
Do you reckon?
I think that's probably the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, because it's GFI if he goes backwards.
Yep.
So he's probably better off not going backwards and doing a 1 in 9. Yeah. Yep. Correct. Yep. So what? He just blocks him, blitzes him, and then dodges off to score. That's as difficult as this turn is. Unless he chains him somehow. So he could block. He could fill in this square. Can he fill in this square? And plus he could jump up. He could jump up, stab with Zara. Okay, jump up, stab with Zara. That's good, isn't it? Jump up, stab with Zara and just see if you nail him. It's pretty good. That's really nice, isn't it? You jump up, stab with Zara and see if you... Because if you nail this guy, then you can just blitz him and score without a dodge. So yeah, you have to jump up, stab first. See what happens. Like this one could have punched him, and then he could have put these two in, and he could have changed that forward. That might have done something. I'm not sure. Oh, he didn't stab. Did he push?
Well, there's still a 3-2-2 here.
He just
but
jumped up.
Wait,
what? He didn't stab.
Not been ideal. Yeah.
Wait, what happened? He jumped up and didn't stab. He jumped up and didn't stab.
Yep.
Misclick, yeah. Yeah, misclick. And now he's hit with the wrong player. I guess no, it doesn't matter. He's got this blitz.
Yeah.
But it is a 1 in 9. Oh, no, he's just doing it wrong, I guess. He's just doing it wrong.
Why? Where are we going over there?
I've got no idea. What's it called? Tunnel vision, isn't it?
Have we used our blitz? This
is the blitz, which is just terrible.
That's awful.
Yep.
If that wasn't a POW, it would ruin everything. There'd be no way through, really.
Yep. That was really, really terrible.
And even now, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's only a single GFI. It's fine now, but
it's still worse than just dodging, right? There you go, 1 in 6. That's kind of deserved, honestly. Like, I know it's harsh, but you just blitz this guy and dodge. A dodge is a 1 in 9, and a GFI is a 1 in 6.
Yeah, exactly. And frankly, if it 1 in 9s and you end up stuck there, you GFI out. Or if for some reason you can't, I can't think of any reason why you couldn't do that. Because it's blockless. But then you could have dodged off and done 2 GFIs. But yeah, the 1 GFI was not.
But just dodge.
Wasn't needed.
Just dodge with a carrier. Like it's just strictly better to dodge with a carrier like this. Oh my god, he can score.
Wow.
He's got pass. He's caught it. It hasn't got the kick. Oh no, it might. Is there a GFI? No, there's no GFI.
No, there's no GFI. That's GG. Wow, I haven't been down that end of the pitch for a while. But again, it kind of not okay that we had dwarves in the midfield. We should have spread them out a bit in case and things. But wow.
No
That's very unlucky for Nolly. A 1 in 6 from winning. Though, as Jim said, I think that's his fault. There were safer ways to me. Because if that was a push, it was the end. And the 1 in 9 is better than a 1 in 6. It's just, that's maths.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, he absolutely did get elfed on. That was a proper old elfing. And I feel, despite the family friendliness, an elf standing near some chocolate just expresses that beautifully.
There you go. Right. Congratulations, Cozen. Commiserations, Kaution. Thank you very much, PC, for coming on and doing this. Absolutely glorious. And thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And stay fan.